Hi, welcome to this channel GCP Exam Ready. In this video we're going to go through App Engine and the key features for it. So App Engine, the most important things to know are application, services, versions and instances. We'll go through what each one of these are and then I'll give you a little bit more detail later on in this video. So first let's have a look at services. A service is a version of a code, which means that if you have multiple versions of code, you will have multiple versions, which means you have multiple services. This is a key factor when you're looking at App Engine and using App Engine, because every time you change something in your code in the application, you are in fact creating a new version of that service. Next, microservices. Microservices can be thought of as adding multiple services that work together. This way you can create microservices which handle the needs of complex applications. If you want a service which runs billing and sends out emails, you might have two services, one which actually runs the bills behind the scenes and one which actually sends out the emails. This means that you have two services working towards a bigger application function, aka two microservices. Let's have a look at instances. An instance is a single run of a version. You might have many instances within a version, or you just have one. So the most important feature of App Engine to bear in mind when you're using it and when you're taking the exam is that each project can have one App Engine application only. You are allowed to have multiple versions and instances within that, but every project can only have one App Engine application. Within that App Engine application, you can have one or more services to run the needs that you have the project for. Let's have a look at splitting traffic. What's traffic first? Well, traffic can be thought of as a workload which is consistently coming in to your service, and therefore you need to be able to handle all of that workload. We call this workload traffic. It's important to split traffic so that you don't overload your system. We can split traffic on App Engine in three ways. This way we have HTTP cookies, or we can split it by IP addresses, or by random selection. HTTP cookies. This is the preferred method because you assign users to versions. Every time a user attempts to access this App Engine, it specifically will be redirected to a specific version that is set for that user. We also have IP address, random selection. Let's go through a random selection first. Random selection evenly distributes the workload, which means it splits traffic evenly between the versions that you have. It gives you a little bit of flexibility, but not enough if you want to use this for a long-term application. IP addressing. Well, App Engine creates a hash. This is a number between 0 and 999. And it uses the IP of each version. This can be problematic in the future because if your user changes IP addresses, for example, they change laptops or they move from working in the office to working at home, then you are unable to actually figure out which user it is and direct them to the correct version. Bear this in mind if you want to use IP addressing for splitting traffic. We've mentioned that the preferred approach is the HTTP cookie. Thank you for tuning in for this video. This is GCP Exam Ready. See you in my next one. Good luck!